Chapter 2 Yuji Meets Boyfriend? I woke to Chintaro the next morning sitting beside the bed looking over me. Good morning, he were greeted with his usual smile. Morning, I replied, checking my watch. It was just about 7, the sky filled with pastels, oranges, and reds and yellows. I made you some breakfast? He interrupted my thoughts, handing me a tray of 2 Sunnyside eggs, toast, and milk. Thanks. I started with the eggs. Mmm, so delicious. So, are you going to explain everything to me? Straight to the point, then, he chuckled. First, about your brother Yuji. We're gonna have to play it safe. Say I move in and become your boyfriend? Temporarily, of course. That grin of his caught me, and I narrowed my gaze at him. Is this a ploy? I asked, leveling my eyes with his, and I didn't say anything for a while. Okay, say you move in and become my boyfriend. What then? Won't he be a little suspicious that I have never mentioned to him until now? We've never kept secrets from each other. Maybe, but if we play this right, we'll pass by unnoticed. His dim golden eyes bore into me. There are things you may not understand now, but will become clearer as we go along. I will have to train you, and if it takes a long time, I might have to pull you out of school. You and Yuji may have to reschedule your vacation some other time, or there won't be much of a Christmas this year. I'm sorry. Don't worry, I'm used to being alone anyway. I'm sure Yuji can stay with us, I answered, more so to reassure myself. You've got me now, he replied with a knowing smile, and I blushed. I blush too easily, I mentally berated myself. Control yourself. You may be single, but you shouldn't be drooling over every man in sight, especially one that is a vampire. I guess that's true now. Yuji's flight arrives at noon, and there's a cab waiting for him. So, do you want to walk with me back to my house? I asked, interrupting my own thoughts. Sure. He nodded and slid his sunglasses on. I finished my breakfast and moved to put on my shoes. Shintaro tucked on his boots and coat as I grabbed my vest. We walked down a ton of stairs. Did I forget to mention he stayed on the 14th floor with no elevator? The air was chilly, and the wind picking up meant snow was on its way. I folded my arms as I walked beside Shintaro, who slid on black leather gloves. He wrapped his fluffy and soft black scarf around my neck and walked ahead of me as if it was a collar and leash. Ha, ha. I laughed sarcastically, and he let go. You know, we do make a cute couple now that I think about it, he stated, hooking an arm around my neck as we continued to walk side by side. I smiled, not knowing what to say to that. I've never had a boyfriend before, let alone kissed a boy. They're too much trouble, and not worth the heartaches. Although, do you want to know more about your past? He asked, interrupting my thoughts that were slowly turning salacious. I thought I didn't have much of one, I murmured, while hiding my uneasiness. Well, with Kamiya and her forsaken love with a demon named Orain, I meant. Orain is the lord of the demon race, a powerful demon even before he inherited some of his powers. He's a young rich brat born into the royal line of the Yokai clan. He's a cold-blooded killer, loves to watch people suffer and tortures relentlessly, and is merciless. One day he decided to enter the human world, despite breaking all kinds of protocols and laws, and saw Kamiya by the temple doing her service to Buddha. As a priestess, she also has the title of Demon Slayer. Anyway, Orain and Kamiya supposedly fell in love at first sight. Orain disguised himself in his human form and shielded his aura away from her. He was just that powerful. She did not know he was a demon, but the truth eventually led her to fall. She was not easily deceived, for she was also a very powerful priestess. She learned various magic, such as white magic, black magic, shaman, and astral spells. She always keeps to herself and to her work. No one knows why or fell for a demon like Orain and his tricks, Shintaro explained. Does this mean I inherited her powers? I interjected. He shrugged. I don't know. The legend is still full of blanks. All the rest is up to us. What about the other guardians? I asked. I searched for them too, but Orain had sent many assassins and killed them all. I'm the only one left, except for the dragons and the gatekeepers, Shintaro replied, his eyes revealing a haunted past full of pain. Dragons? I squeaked out. Yes, the elemental dragons and the gatekeepers are the guardians of Kamiya's power. That is our first mission, to retrieve all dragons' hearts. Their hearts contain the magic you need in order to defeat Orain. He stopped walking and stood before me. I have to fight him? I asked incredulously, and he nodded. I didn't agree to that, and I didn't agree to fight dragons. You must, but you're not alone in this. I will help you. We have to travel to another world, the parallel universe of the past, present, and future colliding. It is like being here in this moment, but there will be no humans, no animals, and no life. That is the world of the Shadowkeeper. The Dark Realm lies within their territory. Yes, there will be lots of fighting, but you will get used to it over time. None of them are human, and their spirits will be released. I'm not asking you to lose your blood innocence, but I need you to finish this so that I can rest. He sounded hurt, sore, and disappointed. I didn't answer while our eyes locked. If you do not wish to do this, I can send you home and you will forget everything. Everything I've said, and you'll even forget about me. In order for this to work out, I need your total willingness and acceptance. I cannot force you to do something you do not want to do, he pleaded, tightly grasping my hands. I'll help, I lied. He smiled and hugged me. He does realize that he owes me a lot. I am sacrificing a lot just to do this for him. No, I am not doing this for me, for Yuji or my parents, or for the world. I am doing this for Shintaro, a man who wishes to die. I never want to forget anything, not even you, I whispered. I want to regret nothing. That was the honest truth as I could tell it. I didn't want to regret anything, but a part of me didn't want to be involved in all this craziness. He held me close to him as we walked on, the chilly air cutting at my rosy cheeks. His arm around me was a little comforting, but the fact of dating a vampire, whom I just met yesterday, was a little odd. We don't even know that much about each other. Will Yuji fall for this? I don't want to cancel our vacation. You think too much. Lighten up a little. Shintaro squeezed my shoulder a little. You can read my thoughts? I blushed crimson, the shock clear on my face. I try not to. He chuckled and whispered it in my ear as he brushed by me. What does he mean by that? He laughed and ran ahead of me. Catch me if you can, he shouted over his shoulder and dashed off. I sighed and shook my head with a grin, running after him. By the time I had caught up to him, we were at the steps of my house. How did he know where I live? We kicked off our shoes, slipped into slippers, and sat in the living room table. I gulped down a large glass of iced water. Nice house, he spoke, looking around at all the pictures and decorative items on the walls. Thanks. I didn't know what else to say as I wiped my mouth with the back of my hand. So, what's Yuji like? He asked, filling in the silence for me. Just like every other older brother, except he's more mature because he has more responsibilities on his shoulders. He is very smart, kind, and a very serious type of person. He takes after Dad, I guess, I answered. And who are you the most like? Shintaro added. I don't know. A little bit of both. My mom's innocence and kindness, and my dad's deceivable looks and curiosity to know more. I smiled at the thought of us together again someday. Mom was a curator for an archaeological company for historical museums, and Dad was an investigator. There was a knock on the door, and we saw Yuji standing there with two large suitcases at his sides. His attire consisted of a nice pair of black business slacks with a white button shirt and a black suit jacket. His long black bangs fell across his face as he brushed them aside, revealing piercing green eyes under his thin gold-rimmed glasses. Now that I think about it, Yuji and Shintaro do look alike. Yuji! I squealed and leapt into his open arms, both of us squeezing the life out of each other. Hey, how are you, Squirt? He asked. Fine, you? I asked back. Good. He tickled my sides. I missed you a lot, you little monster. He looked up to see Shintaro stand beside me. Oh, you didn't tell me you had company. Who's this? Yuji asked. Shintaro-san, my boyfriend. I had to hesitate. It was hard not to laugh. Hello, Shintaro bowed. Hello, Shintaro. Yuji accepted his bow with a slight bow of his head. How long have you known each other? Shintaro interrupted me. About 2 months, and enjoying every moment, Shintaro lied, and I tried very hard not to cringe. I've heard a lot about you. How was the university life treating you? Very well, thank you. Yuji took his suitcases and placed them inside, closing the door to sit at the table. So, sis, what will you do today? I want to go to the tower. It's been a while since we've been there, and plus I got a new camera, so I wanted to take pictures. Shintaro wanted to come along. Don't you want to rest first? I'm sure the trip from America was tiring, I reassured, pouring all of us a cup of green tea. No, not really. I slept through most of the flight. Yuji took a sip of his tea. Anyway, I can unpack my things on the way back in. We can go now if you want. Yay! I ran up to my room and grabbed my camera and changed my clothes. Yuji and Shintaro started a conversation on their own when I was getting ready. So, Yuji stated as his fingers steepled over each other and looked at Shintaro, who could not help but look cool. Do you two have any plans? Is it that obvious? Shintaro chuckled. Yes. I want to move in with her. I want to be a part of her future. She's a pretty cool and tough girl. I very much enjoy her company. Do you love her? Yuji asked. Yes. Shintaro nodded, almost wanting to hesitate. Why? Yuji asked with his eyes narrowing with suspicion. Isn't this an interrogation? Shintaro thought and chuckled. I love her for who she is. I want to move in because she has no family but you. And she is alone all the time. She needs both of us and our support. Sending her money and gifts is not enough to support her lonely heart. She's alone and hurting, suffering in silence. What are you trying to say? Yuji asked, very curious about his philosophy and outside opinion. She needs a different feeling of love to cover the hole in her heart. She has you as both of her parents, but to triple that, you are her brother as well. She needs to love someone in a different way. I will give her all my support and protection that I can provide. I will treat her with respect and give her everything she deserves. Isn't that enough? Shintaro explained. No, Yuji stated, standing up as his glasses reflected the light, unable to see his eyes. She needs much more than that. Shintaro stood up, confused, But before he could ask anything, I came down the stairs with my camera around my neck. Ready! I smiled and grabbed from my jacket on the rack. I kicked off the slippers and put on my boots, Yuji and Chincharo doing the same. Chincharo slid on his shades as well, and we walked out the door, side by side.